How's it going, ladies and Bruces? I'm Bobby Sixkiller and welcome back to Torment, Tides of Numenera. Now, we have just finished talking to a bunch of other people. I actually went and finished up the exposition on the genocide over here. There wasn't really much to learn though, but it did take a while. Now, in the last episode we were charged with fixing this supposed clock. It doesn't look much like a clock to me, but that is our job right now, so let's get into it.
Yes.
And see what we can do. The complex machine towers over you. Its purpose is unclear, but the three circular faces set into the ground remind you of clocks. Something is wrong with the machine, however. It's partially transparent, shimmering in the air when you look directly at it. The clock faces seem to show several different times at once. Humanoid silhouettes ripple beneath the central clock face. One places his hand against your face, as though it were a glass wall. They seem to be watching you. Examine the machine. A towering mechanism waves in the air. Similar to Calisturge, it appears to be in several states at once. Though all of the machine's states are in the exact same location, you can't touch it either. Your hand passes right through the structure. As you pull your hand away, a memory strikes you as powerfully as if someone took a club to your chest. You're working at the clock. It is no longer transparent, but perfectly solid. There is a noise behind you. So they've come. The three traitors. They think to surprise you. Through the powers of the clock, you have foreseen this moment. There is the faintest sound of metal sliding against leather. You slap one hand on the central clock face, activating the clock's arcane powers. You're not sure what it'll do to them, but it's better than what they'll do to you. There's a flash. Arcs of energy stretch out from the clock, over your shoulders to the would-be attackers. You don't see what happens to them, but they quickly disappear along with their screams. As the last shred of the memory fades, a swirl of energy passes through your body. Cold barbs prickle every muscle. Suddenly, tidal forces arc from the clock to three ancient devices in the cultists' encampment. The clock recognized something inside you, or maybe vice versa. Either way, you've inadvertently activated the nearby devices.
I remember that.
Sorry if I have to keep stopping, but I have to keep drinking as well. Because of all the reading. It gets me really dry and I gotta keep drinking water to fucking keep talking. That's the problem with these dialogue heavy games. So that's these things. Let's do it. As you approach the device, Circus Minor is thrown into chaos. Buildings are on fire, people are screaming and running for their lives, while armored soldiers hunt them. None of them seem to pay any attention to you though. It's some kind of vision, not reality. You glance down at the device. A series of images flit across the screen. They don't appear to related to the changes around you. You see faces of other people and places, all of them familiar. Look more closely at the changes around you. Circus Minor is under attack. Squads of armored soldiers roam the streets, hunting and killing anyone they find. Mobs of people flee in terror, with only a few hapless souls trying and failing to fight them off. The soldiers are completely encased in jagged metal armor. You can't even tell if they're human. Looking beyond the carnage, the square in the vision looks wildly different. Many of the buildings that are on fire don't exist at all when you step away from the device, having been replaced by other structures. Examine the images on the surface of the device. As soon as you focus on them, you feel a warmth in your head where your tattoo is. The images respond to your thoughts, slowing and changing at your whim. It's something about your body that allows you to do this, which perhaps means that only you can see the images. You immediately recognize the pictures as pieces of memory, specifically the three memories you saw back in the fathoms of your mind. The city under siege, that sounds like that was. Somehow you know that this memory is ancient. It might have occurred 1,000 years ago. A man and a young girl race through the streets of Sagas Cliffs. All around them the city is attacked by terrible people, the Tabat, you recall. The man takes them to an ancient machine somewhere in the city. Then he and the girl disappear. As you review the memory, you get a strange feeling in your mind that you can only describe as a query. The device wants something from you. Suddenly you remember the memories in the device are possibilities. But you can lock one of those memories here, so that it is the only one that displays. You don't remember what purpose it served though. Lock in the memory of the besieged city. The images of the man and the girl are the only ones that play across the surface of the device. They run past the enemy soldiers and disappear into the machine in an endless loop. Cool. Is that good? It's got a pink line. I assume that's good. This one? A strange feeling comes over you as you approach the device, as if someone was sneaking up on you in the corner of your eye. But when you look, there's no one there. It feels like something is different though. You can't put your finger on what. A series of images flit across the surface of the device itself. They don't appear related to the changes around you. You see faces of other people and places, all of them familiar. Look more closely at the changes around you. The changes are difficult to notice at first, but after a moment you figure it out. Circus Minor is the same, but the crowd is different. Most of the people in the stalls and buildings are not the same as those you've seen around the square. Those few you do recognize are younger by several years. Okay. Underwater city? The memory is recent. Two men, both with tattoos like yours, are in an underwater city searching for something. The denizens of the city chase them from their quarry and ultimately surround and capture them. Lush Valley? Somehow you know the memories from a long time ago. Centuries ago, probably. A man and a woman, both with tattoos like your own, are surveying a lush, secluded valley. For some purpose you cannot recall. Let's use Underwater City. I think we're good with that one.
Let's do it.
One more. As you approach the device, Circus Minor changes around you. People are dressed differently and speak differently. Whole new structures appear, including an enormous building rising from the edge of the square. You look down at the device. A series of images flit across the screen. Yep, look more closely. Circus Minor looks almost completely different. All the people are dressed strangely, and although they speak the truth, they use terms and phrases you don't understand. The square has changed as well. All the tents are gone. The buildings are more colourful and less weathered. One building in particular rises from the edge of the square, a tower of purple rock, some 50 stories high. A mural is painted on the side, though you can't see the details from here. As soon as you lock the third image, a final surge of energy arcs through the air from the device to the clock itself. The clock shines for a moment, then becomes solid, fixed into a single state. At the same time, the device in front of you goes dark. The images disappear, as does the strange view of the city's past. We did it! Boom. Oh, they're gonna be happy. They better pay me now, you know? Give me my fucking answers now. Fixed it. You fixed the clock. I knew you could do it. I knew it! She shoots a triumphant smile at Mimian. You must tell us what you saw. Who were those figures? Were they cast-offs? What did they say? Were you able to retrieve them? Patience, Cass. We must first congratulate our guest. He turns to you. Masterfully done, revered one. A performance worthy of your sire. He bows gravely at you. You are most welcome here. He frowns. Unfortunately, your task is not entirely complete. We told you our price. That decision stands. What? What knowledge? Hang on, let me just see. Investigate the figures that are trapped inside. Oh, I didn't do that.
Right.
Fine. Assholes. The machine is solid now. Each of the 3 clock faces shows a single time, though none of them point to any time measurement you understand. You lean closer to the central clock face. 3 shadowy figures still lurk within, their features almost discernible now. Suddenly, the figures surge out of the clock towards you. Intense pressure strikes at your head like a steel spike. Then everything goes black.
I'll remember that.
What just happened? Oh, water. Well, this is that, like, mind realm or something again.
Let's go.
I love the endless staircase. Very cool. Hey, fellas. The 3 figures before you are disoriented. They don't even seem to notice you at first. All 3 of them have a tattoo like yours. Cast-offs. What befell us? The woman is dressed in powerful-looking armor. Her face bears several scars. Yet her ears have the innocence of a child. Yet her eyes have the innocence of a child. Did he do something? Are we still in the clock? I do not believe so. The second figure is tall, dressed all in black. Its height is exaggerated further by a violet, fish-like crest on top of its head. Its large yellow eyes are squinted, scanning all around. There was a man outside the clock, but it wasn't. It was him. The third figure points at you. He's small, wiry, and tense, as though he expects danger. He carries a shield on his back. He's a cast-off, he says, looking at your tattoo. Can't say I recognize him, though. What happened just now? We were ingested into your head. I saw it. How is that possible? He eyes you suspiciously. Who are you? I'm a cast-off like you. I'm the latest one. The latest? He raises one eyebrow significantly higher than the other. That's not possible. We faced the changing god mere days ago, and you are not the body he bore. I think we might have been trapped in that clock for centuries, Kamos. Something about it messed with our perception. The Varjalan looks up at the ceiling, or where the ceiling would be, if there were one. Time is an illusion. How long is the wrong question. It turns its enormous bulbous eyes to you. What is this place? Where are we? Somewhere in my mind, I think. The Varjalan shuts its eyes. 6 nostrils open wide as it inhales deeply. Yes, perhaps you're right. Our consciousnesses were ripped from our bodies when the changing god activated his clock. Then you appeared. It happened again. Our minds ripped from their cranial prison. It looks to its friends. I cannot be certain, but I believe this is part of some vast mental construct. He turns to you. Your mental construct. His eyes become nearly as large as Varjalan's. What? You mean we just went from one prison to another? He grips you by the shoulders. You did this. If this is your mind, let us out. Why can't you get us out of here? Weren't you listening? We were trapped in that clock for centuries. I'm looking for a way out, believe me. But if Diane Tiku says it's your mind, then it's your show. So long as we live, there is hope. One of us will find a way. Why did the changing god trap you on the clock? Ah, yes. She looks down, embarrassed. The 3 of us once worked alongside our sire, helping him with his research, after he'd brought the Order of Truth to Sangus Cliffs. We saw him for what he was. Selfish. Arrogant. He doesn't care about us. Not a single one of his children. He crosses his arms and looks away bitterly. All of his projects were always about him. He didn't care if anyone got hurt in the process. We betrayed him. Unlike the others, the Varjalan looks you directly in the eye. We meant to stun him, to capture him before he could escape to another body, but he was too quick for us. He activated the clock, tearing our minds from our bodies and trapping us eternally. I don't see a way out. The Varjalan stretches its neck, putting its face within a handspan of yours. It seems to be examining you, and then it says, your mind, only you have the power to change. What he's trying to say is this place was created for your body, or perhaps by your body. Our sire placed within each of us unique gifts and abilities. For example, I have never heard tell of another cast-off who could trap consciousnesses the way you have. She gives you a warm smile. He would not have created this space for you without also giving you a means by which to move through it. Think, what other gifts did our Creator bestow upon you? I chose an aspect of myself when I was born, deep in the heart of this labyrinth. Is that it? Deviantagu shakes his head. I can see what you speak of, it says, and you get a momentary impression that his eyes can see through you. This aspect describes you, just as I am Varjalan. Villian is observant, and Kamos is foolish. I object to that characterization. He gives a kind chuckle. He's not wrong, and you know it. In a wounded look, he raises his hands placatingly. It's the truth. Anyway, you've gotten us out of twice as much trouble as you'll get us into. The Varjalan speaks to you. These aspects are descriptors of who we are, but they are not us. That you chose your aspects says quite a lot, but I do not believe that is enough to set us free. I built a path out of a deep fathom in my mind by recovering memories I'd lost. Perhaps, if there were any memories here to recover. He kills his lip and looks around. Maybe I just don't know what memories look like, but I don't see anything. It would seem we were in agreement, Villian. I'm a fighter, a glaive? His smile is wide and friendly. Of course you are. It is plain. We are congeneric by look alone. You see, that's the type of thing that you do. It was the path you chose, not something our sire gave you, nor a means to freedom. I don't think I have the ability you're talking about. You must! She looks at her compatriots and back at you. We each have our gifts given to us by our sire for a specific purpose. His purpose, of course, but a purpose nonetheless. She presses a hand against her chest. They say, for example, that foolish though I may be, I have 9 magical gifts of speech. That is not something I chose nor learned, but it is who he made me to be. He rubs his hand along the edge of his shield. I am a master of defensive arts. Our sire learned them when he was in my body. Probably built my body to excel at it. I wouldn't call it a gift, but it's me. Yeah. I am one with the shadows. I live in them. I breathe them. This is not some esotery I discovered, but a unique ability our sire chose for me while he was in my body. She gives you a kind smile. The gift is in you. Perhaps you've just forgotten. Our sire wouldn't have made this place without granting you the power to get out. Focus. Find the answer inside yourself. Shut your eyes. Search your memories for this ability they speak of. You rifle through your memories, past everything you actually remember to those memories you didn't create yourself. There must be a key or a door, anything that would help you escape this fathom of your mind. Just as you're about to give up, you find something. A cluster of sparks, nascent abilities deep within the core of your being. You sense the abilities to speak eloquently, to use a shield with a master's skill, to lurk among the shadows as though they were home.
I'm ready to learn something new.
Oh, level up. None of them seem particularly suited to creating a path out of this place, but as you sift through them, you know that you are trapped here. Not because it is some puzzle your sire left for you to solve, but because you are not yet whole. This is another part, the last part, of deciding who you are. In completing yourself, you will be able to open a path back to the calm of your mind. Natural charisma, nice. So we get to pick one of these. Master Defense, Breather's Shadow, or Natural Charisma. I kind of want Natural Charisma. That sounds like me. Let's get that. Looks like we can go. That's it, you did it. Does this mean we can go back to the real world? I don't think so, Villian, but it does mean we're free. Finally. He turns to you. Thank you, friend. Go. We will follow. Alright, let's roll.
Let's go.
Uh-oh. Enemy duder. Holy shit. Oh, I hope it doesn't kill my new friends. Oh, we're back here. It's you again. I saw what happened. Are you alright? That thing almost killed you. What did happen? It blasted you out of that part of your mind. His voice is somber. The sorrow must be gathering its strength, taking spaces in your mind to keep you from reaching your full potential. I don't know why it doesn't just destroy you. Maybe the fragments aren't strong enough. Yet. It's alright though. We have more important things to do, right? Like get that chamber fixed. Are you always here? He shrugs. Where else would I be? I found the resonance chamber, but it's broken. Yeah, I saw that. I don't see everything you do out there in the world, but I definitely saw that. You have to find a way to fix it. How did activating the clock in the real world open that other fathom? Who knows? It probably triggered something in your mind. Made a bridge you didn't have before. Maybe you did have the bridge once, but you lost it. Could other fathoms open like that? Maybe. You've already made a lot of changes to this place. At this point, nothing would surprise me. If this is my mind, why don't I remember this place? I told you as much as I know. It's your mind, and that means you're in control. You just need to figure out how to unlock its secrets. I don't know how, but I think the resonance chamber will do that for us. It'll unite us. Make us whole again. Is there anything to do while I'm here? You mean apart from the cabaret acts, distilleries, and endless adventure just behind your next wrinkle of your mind? He jabs you in the arm with his elbow. Ha! And if you believe that... Sorry, but it's your mind. There's nothing like that here. I've looked. Still, you've changed things plenty already. I wouldn't be surprised if something shows up here eventually. Has anything changed since last time I was here? He shrugs. Look around, it's your mind. How do I get back this time? The portal's still there, I don't see why it wouldn't work twice. What should I do now? With the chamber broken, I'm not sure. We need to find someone who can fix it. The chamber's our only hope. Without it... I'm ready to go. Farewell. Where are we going? This way. To that portal. Holy shit balls. Is there anything I can interact with here? Doesn't appear to be. Alright, let's roll.
Let's go.
Back to real life. Back to normality. Well, whatever kind of normality we live in. We're not exactly the most normal.
I can breathe again.
Now what? Ah, you returned to us, and you've completed your task. What did you see inside the clock? Tell us! She's nearly breathless with excitement. I met Kimos, Diviatiku, and Villian. Disappointment creases her face. I know these names. They're not new to us. They were favoured servants of your creator, cast-offs who served him well indeed. Diviatiku brought the Order of Truth to Sagas Cliffs, but they betrayed their holy trust and disappeared. He sighs. Nevertheless, we will honour our arrangement. You sought answers about who might repair the resonance chamber. We know that your sire built it with the aid of another cast-off, still unknown to us. Perhaps one of your siblings might know where to find him. Or her. I know of only one other cast-off still in the city. The albino assassin, Matkina. They call her the White Death. She wore a camouflaging cloak and brought destruction in her wake. The last I heard of her, she was in the underbelly. He restrains a shudder. Seek her, but be wary.
Ready to learn something new.
Okay. How do we do these level up pieces? Advancement. Spend your experience points by clicking the plus button next to your experience meter on the left side of the screen. Choose 4 advancement steps. Bloody blah. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's do it. Oh shit. You can select one of the following options to spend your experience points. You can select each option once per tier. Oh, I don't know. I'd like extra effort, really. So I could use more effort in one go. Let's do that.
I understand now.
Is that it? And you've got one as well. Okay. And you can't have these 3. So you can improve edge or improve skill. Let's improve skill then. Let's see. Healing. You can do healing. That's pretty cool. Law machinery. That'd be useful though. Let's get that.
Feel stronger now. Good call.
And you don't have a level up. That's cool. Whatever. Dude, they're way higher level than me. Like, way higher. Jesus. Okay. So now we gotta find the albino woman. Let's just check our journal. Matkina. In the underbelly. How do I get to the underbelly? This way?
Fine.
Must be. There's a couple of things I need to do in the underbelly, so we should probably get in there. Now we're nearly out of time for this episode, but we will start exploring and talk to some peeps. Wow, knowing this game, we'll have a chance to talk to one person. That'll run us over time because, man, there's a lot of dialogue. An absolute shit ton of dialogue. Underbelly thugs. Pauper. Let's talk to you. You've got a name. Headless man. I kind of want to talk to you just because you've got no head. And that's really weird. This lithesome Jack looks down on his luck, judging from his bare feet and dusty jerkin, but he takes in his surroundings with a hopeful gaze. As you approach, he smiles and throws out his arms in greeting, which reveals the tools of his trade on his belt. How now, helpmeet? Got any... He stops and sees Tabir with you. Tabir, he bellows. Good to see you. Last I heard, you and Riss were running from the levies. Slipped him again, eh? This is your new crew? Looking for an in and an out man? I'm free at the moment. I'm ready and able to do some crimes. Crimes. It's like Night in the Woods. Manth, my boy, always joking, he says through gritted teeth, and so loudly. He puts an arm around the young man's neck and snags him in, a little too tight. Someday someone's going to hear one of your loud jokes and call the watch on you. And me. And no, this is not my crew, this is my friend, who I'm helping find his way around the pitfalls of our great city. Tabir turns to you. Manth is actually the most honest boy in Sangus Cliffs, aren't you, Manth? He swallows. Why, yes, I am. They don't come much more honester than Manth Pa. I pretty much just sit around all day thinking of ways I could be more on... Tabir meaty palm covers Manth's mouth. That's fine, lad, that's fine. He smiles at you. You know, Manth is the most dangerous job in Sagus Cliffs. He's a window washer. Hangs out over the sea faces of those cliff houses and scrubs away without a care. And if that weren't enough, when he's not working, he's down here in the underbelly, helping people find their way around. Go on, just ask him, he knows everything about this place. That's right, says Manth as Tabir lifts his hand. Ask me anything. You want to hear about the people who live here? Or maybe the Stitcher tunnels? Or the manufactory? Or those crazy Dendra O'Hare bastards? Huh, interesting. You know where I can find someone called Matkina? The White Death, he whistles. You ain't crazy, are you? He lifts his hand placatingly. Sorry. None of my business. I could tell you where she is. But you might want to talk to Mapper. He's squatting in one of those shanties down here. If there's any place she can hide, he'd know about it. Dendra O'Hare, I need to go there too. The cannibals? Ha! Sometimes I think they just do it so they can be crazier than anybody else. I know they got some kind of mumbo-jumbo reason for eating dead folks, but I think they just like making people squirm, you know? What about the manufactory? The heart of industry in Sagus Cliffs. People think only the crazy and the crooked live down here in the underbelly, but if you want to see the hardest working people in the city, go look at those furnaces. That's real work, that is. What can you know about the Stitcher tunnels? They've dug them all over the place around here. You can only see the ends of them, since they fill them with loose dirt that only they can dig through. Tell me about the people here. He blows out his cheek. Well, I won't talk about everyone. There's a lot of us here, but I'll hit the highlights. Or lowlights, I guess. He starts counting them off on his fingers. There's Fulsome, of course. He runs things around here. Not officially, mind you. He's just the sharpest, shaggin' with the hardest crew, is all. McKellar, who sells bits and bobs at his stall. Muke, the meatmonger, who sells, meat. He pats his chest. Tell Muke I sent you if you pay him a visit. He gives me a shin for each referral. Let's see. There's Elegern, the Aeon priest, who... Oh, there you are, Elegern. I was just about to say wonderful things about you. I'll bet, go on. Sure. Then there's Mapper, crazy Karka who's covered in maps, and... Well, I suppose that's it. What with Crooked Queek dead. He spreads his hands. Yep, that's all worth mentioning. Give me a general take on the underbelly. He shrugs. It's the bottom of the ladder. As they say around here, there ain't no more going down. There ain't no more down to go. That's a good thing, right? Means you got nowhere to go but up. A passing thought dims on his cheery expression. Unless you drown or get swallowed by the bloom or something. Okay, farewell. Alrighty, well, we're in a new area, that's cool. And we got some people to find and shit to do and cannibals to maim, I guess, we'll see. But that's enough for one day, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, thanks for hanging out with me, and I shall see you in the next episode.